My name is Alia, and this video is about the Queer Blackathon, which is a 48-hour readathon happening starting on the 19th of this month. Queer Blackathon is a part of Blackathon, which is a readathon which normally happens during February. The Queer Blackathon specifically happens during Pride Month, and this year it's going to be run by Bowties and Books, Bookish Realm, and The Broken Spine. There are some challenges which you can find on the Blackathon Twitter page, but you can also just choose to read any books that feature Black and queer characters written by authors that are Black and queer. I wanted to give some recommendations of books that I've read and really liked that I think would be good possibilities to read. The first would be any books by Claire Kahn, but the two that I have read are The Romantic Agenda and Let's Talk About Love. All of Claire Kahn's books, I believe, feature asexual characters, but I know that those two do. My next suggestion would be Bitter or Pet by Akweki Emezi. Bitter is the only one that I've read. I haven't completely finished it, but what I've read of it was very good. Plus, I have read some of the author's other writing, and their writing is just really beautiful, and I wouldn't necessarily call it flowery, but like there's definitely a bit of poetry to it, but the stories are also just told so well. So I would also just look at any of their books. For a comic book or graphic novel, I would recommend Wash Day Diaries, which is by Jamila Rouser. This is brand new. I read it through NetGalley, so I believe it's come out now. I'm not absolutely certain of that, but I believe it came out the beginning of the month. There is only one character that is queer in this book, and each chapter, each section features a different one of the four girls in the story, but I think that it's also just a really great graphic novel in general. All of the girls are Black. One of them is Afro-Latinx, and it's just a story about their wash days with their hair and how that kind of intertwines with their friendship and how their days and their weeks go. And I really enjoyed it as a story. I would also recommend Take a Hint, Danny Brown, which is the second book in the Brown Sisters trilogy by Talia Hibbert. I haven't read the third one, but I believe that this is the only one with queer rep. Danny is bisexual, and out of the two that I've read, this one was actually my favorite. I mean, I really, really loved Chloe Brown. I loved the chronic illness representation. It was a great story, but I loved Danny even more. So that's one that I would definitely say to check out. Next, I'm going to recommend an anthology, and not every story has queer characters in it. I also have not read every story. It's called Blackout, and every one of the authors is a well-known Black YA author. And I'm gonna look at my notes, make sure I name all of the authors. Let's see, Danielle Clayton, Nick Stone, Tiffany D. Jackson, who else? Angie Thomas, Ashley Woodfolk, and Nicola Yoon are all the authors. They each wrote a different story, and the really cool thing is that all of the stories connect. It's all these different romances with teenagers, but the stories also connect. The characters are related in different ways, and of the ones I've read maybe about halfway. They're all really great. So that's another suggestion. And then my last suggestion is called Bingo Love. It's by T. Franklin, and this is a graphic novel that is about two women who, when they were teenagers, which I think was about in the 1960s, they realized they had feelings for each other, but were both pushed to stop being around each other, and they were pushed to marry men. They both ended up marrying men, having families, having grandkids, and end up meeting again when they are grandmothers and end up having a romance once again. And it's just a really great story, and I love the fact that it's older women, because you just never see older characters, especially older queer characters, in romances. And, you know, then also the fact that they're older queer Black women. Like, it was a really great story, and it explored a lot of different things throughout their family as well, with their husbands as well, and I really enjoyed it. And I think it was talked about a bit a few years ago, but I think it's still not as well known as maybe it should be. And now my intended TBR, although I don't know how much I'm actually going to stick to it because I'm just not great at sticking to TBRs, but some of the books I might read are, I might read Pet, or I might see if I can finish Bitter if I'm able to get it back from the library. I also have Meet Cute Club is a possibility. Burn Down, Rise Up is probably my number one that I would like to try and read or listen to an audiobook. I think I'm most excited about that. it's also the book, I think, in August for the NB Book Club, which is non-binary book club, reading non-binary books, and anyone can join that. You don't have to be non-binary or questioning if you're non-binary. You can be anyone. Just be interested in reading non-binary books, and we read some really great books in there. And other possibilities are The Deep by River Solomon, and also Yesterday is History is another possibility. So those are kind of my plans, and I don't know what's going to exactly happen, but if you're interested in joining this readathon, it's for 48 hours, starts on the 19th, and I'm going to put information into my description box, but you can also find the readathon on Twitter at, they are at Blackathon, the number 1, and you can find all the information there.